When most people think about fraud, they picture cybercriminals, organized crime groups, or sophisticated hackers operating overseas. But the reality is often much closer to home. Many of the most significant fraud losses suffered by Australian councils, businesses and organisations are committed by trusted employees, managers, contractors or suppliers who already have access to financial systems, procurement processes and sensitive information. For councils and SMEs, employee fraud remains one of the biggest governance and financial risks in 2026. The impact goes far beyond money. Fraud can damage reputations, destroy workplace trust, undermine public confidence and place leaders under intense scrutiny. At its core, fraud involves deception for personal gain. It can take many forms, including false invoices, procurement manipulation, payroll fraud, expense claim fraud, theft of funds, misuse of company credit cards, false timesheets, wage theft and cyber-enabled financial fraud. Research by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners estimates that organizations lose around 5% of annual revenue to fraud. For many SMEs, that level of loss can be devastating. So why do employees commit fraud? One of the most widely accepted explanations is the fraud triangle, which identifies three key factors: pressure, opportunity and rationalization. Pressure may come from financial stress, gambling debts, addiction or personal hardship. Opportunity arises when internal controls are weak and employees believe they will not get caught. Rationalization occurs when offenders justify their behavior by telling themselves things like, "I deserve it," or "nobody will notice." Today, many experts refer to the fraud diamond, which adds a fourth factor: capability. In other words, the offender has the skills, knowledge and access needed to manipulate systems and commit fraud. Recent Australian cases highlight the risks. In 2026, a former finance executive pleaded guilty to obtaining nearly $500,000 from his employer through more than 100 unauthorized transactions. In another matter, a Cronulla RSL employee was charged over alleged fraudulent transactions, with reported losses exceeding $1 million. Both cases involved trusted individuals operating with access to systems and limited oversight. The warning signs are often present long before the fraud is detected. These include employees refusing to take leave, excessive control over financial processes, missing records, unusual supplier relationships, unexplained wealth, bypassing approval processes and bullying behavior that discourages scrutiny. Fraud risks continue to evolve. Organizations are increasingly facing fake invoice scams, payroll diversion fraud, procurement collusion, electronic record manipulation and cyber-enabled theft. The good news is that fraud can be prevented. Strong governance, segregation of duties, regular audits, conflict of interest management, fraud awareness training and effective whistleblower programs remain some of the most effective safeguards. The organizations most vulnerable to fraud are often those that believe it could never happen to them. The real question is not whether warning signs existed. The real question is whether anyone acted when they first appeared.